Got a little job to do today on the Morris 1000 Traveller, and you can see I've removed the steering wheel over there, and the reason why is the indicator stalk assembly, specifically this. It's been making a scraping noise. This is how the car, always was. I've never really done much to this except, I might have had it off to adjust the self-cancel mechanism and what have you. But this actual part here, I've never touched. But it's an essential part because it forms the earth path for the horn. Now you can see there's a brass ring, and this has been making a scraping sound. I actually had to bend it slightly to make a smoother contact with it, and you can see where it's been cutting into the brass collar there, which is no good at all. So I wanted to go back to basics with it and find out exactly what it should be like. So I had a look at my spare indicator stalks, of which I've got quite a few, although none really cosmetically suitable for fitting to the car. And of about the 5 or 6 I've got, the vast majority of them were like this. Some even worse, some with this, broken off halfway. But this one I've got here, this one here, came up with the goods, you see. So this is what is missing from there. This little it looks like copper to me, a sort of brush, which is a segment that would sit against the brass collar there, and it would act on it nice and smoothly. I can actually see now what's happened here with that hole. That at some point in this car's life has fallen off and got lost. As I say, this never happened in my ownership. It's always been like that. I've just sort of tweaked this to make better contact, because I always thought that's how it should have been. Now I know that's how it should be. So the job I'm going to do today is just swap it over. Just going to fit this part. You can see I've desoldered the wire there. That was quite easy, although I've bought a new 100-watt soldering iron for this and a couple of other jobs, a bit more heavy duty, because the 25-watt iron I've got, it's good for tinning wires and fitting solder bullets, but for stuff like this I needed a more powerful one, so that's what I'm going to be doing. It's dead easy actually. All it requires is this carefully desoldering. I'll degrease it first, then remove the 2 screws there, and this assembly comes off then, and that's what's underneath. There's no further disassembly required. That part just sits on the top. If you do need to remove the steering wheel for whatever reason, always, well, you should disconnect the battery for certainly doing any electrical work. But if you're just removing the wheel, to reset the position of it or whatever, you can get away with insulating the socket and you'll notice, yes, it is the right socket. It's not a chisel. Never use a chisel or, you know, some other bodge. And what size is it? 3/4 width, 3/4 width, which does the job. And then you've got the actual horn push assembly there with the retaining screw. The screw fits into the steering wheel itself, there, and the whole thing is just secured by this little countersunk screw. Now, to find that later. So that's how the horn works. It works through contacting earth, which means if you don't disconnect the battery or take the precaution of insulating your socket with a bit of cardboard like so, if you contact this, the horn will sound, and it's not something you want. So I'll just say now, just disconnect the battery. Then you don't have to worry about short circuiting anything or potentially causing damage. So I'm going to push on with this now. Just thought it may be of interest to some people, especially if you have, you know, a nasty scraping sound coming from this area when you turn the steering wheel, as I did. And that is how it should be. So thanks for watching. There's much more left to do on this car, including the engine. Many of you will have already seen the engine rebuild videos, as I am trying to prepare a good rebuilt engine for Bewley. I do want that in the car, and not only in the car but running and proved. Running, of course, bedded in and proven before I set off on that trip to the other end of the country. So if you like this and want more technical videos, do consider subscribing and stay tuned for more. Toodaloo.